Alright, kids, we got another UFC show coming up this Saturday. I know we just had one a couple days ago, but now we have a UFC on Fox card. And this one I actually think has a better overall lineup than UFC 210. I mean, this might actually be a better overall card than any actual UFC pay-per-view we've had all year round. So I'm happy about that. You get really high quality product. You don't have to pay a dime for it. You don't even have to bother streaming it. It's right there on TV. And for that, I applaud the UFC. A great decision move right there. Decision move, yes. Not business decision, it doesn't matter. Alright, well, let's get right down to it. The main event is Demetrius Johnson defending the title for, oh goodness, I think it's like the 8th or 9th time against Reis. Is that how you pronounce his last name? Reis? Reis? I'm just going to call him Wilson. So it reminds me of Home Improvement. Alright, so what do you know about this one? Looking at the stats here, mild height advantage for Wilson, weight not really a factor, minor reach advantage for Wilson, minor leg reach advantage for Wilson, strikes landed per minute, accuracy, strikes absorbed per minute, and defense all favors defending champ. Grappling, both of these have really high averages. Wilson has a 5.51% takedown average per fight compared to 3.54 for Johnson. Takedown accuracy favors Johnson. Takedown defense averages out to benefit Johnson. Submission averages pretty much negligible. So I'm trying to think, Johnson in his last fight for like a round, he's having some difficulties. And actually, the guy he fought in that show is actually opening up one of the prelims. So how about that for a fall from grace? And I'm thinking, that's kind of the strategy to beat Mighty Mouse. I don't really think Wilson has that. I think he's going to be a very, very solid fighter, and he's good, and he can do some solid, standing action. But Johnson, he's just so fast, and his grappling is so good. And even if he's getting beat on his feet, he's going to start wrestling you to death. Yeah, I just don't think Wilson has anything to respond with. He can go in there and look for the home run shot early, but, Johnson is too evasive. And like I said, Johnson's takedown skills way beyond what Wilson's capable of. So as much as I hate to say it, and I know if you're watching this on Fox and it's a live broadcast, you're going to get what you expect. I got Johnson winning 5 rounds, unanimous decision, 50-45 across the cards. Co-main event, we got Rose Namajunas taking on Michelle Waterson, and there is a very strong chance whoever wins this one could possibly be taking on the winner of the upcoming Joanna J Championship bout delivered later on this year for the strawweight title. Well, not a whole lot to say about this one. Minor height advantage for Rose, reach advantage, about 3-inch advantage for Rose, leg reach, 4-inch advantage for Rose. It kind of makes you wonder, do they measure that? Do they actually take them in the back room and take out a tape measure and say throw them ham hocks over here and record them? But yeah, it's neither here nor there. As far as striking goes, it looks like it's a mixed bag. Rose might be getting more strikes per minute, but accuracy favors Waterson. Strike absorbed per minute, Rose getting hit 3.14 times compared to 0.83 for Waterson. So, yeah, one's a really good offensive striker, one's a good defense fighter against striking. Grappling, pretty much identical. One thing you know is Waterson, 100% takedown accuracy. Takedown defense, pretty much average. Waterson has 3.44 submission attempts per fight compared to 1.13 for Rose. So yeah, this should be a pretty entertaining matchup. I'm not usually excited for winning the matches, but this one I think could actually be quite competitive, and I really have no idea who's going to win. It could really go either way. Just looking at this, I think I might give the slight tilt towards Waterson because of the wrestling, and especially because of the submissions. But I don't know, Rose, her nickname is Thug for a reason. She'll carve you up standing, so go either way. So I guess you gotta go with your gut instinct, and I just like Waterson's takedown defense and her submission skills. So I'm gonna say Waterson wins it, unanimous decision. Alright, and here's another really competitive matchup that's way better than you'd expect a Fox TV show to be. Ronaldo Souza taking on Robert Whittaker. Two guys who are going to be fighting for the title at some point. Obviously, it's being held up because of the whole Michael Bisping GSP, Yoel Romero love triangle. But look at this. It should be a great fight. Height advantage, negligible. Reach advantage, negligible. Leg reach, negligible. Strikes minute per minute. Robert has 5.07 compared to 2.34 for Ronaldo. Striking accuracy, pretty negligible. Strike absorb per minute, only 2 for Ronaldo. 4.09 for Whittaker. So Whittaker probably better striking, but Ronaldo much better defensively against the striking. And of course, the takedown average, 3.5 per fight for Ronaldo, 0.59 for Whittaker. Takedown accuracy actually favors Whittaker, kind of surprising. Takedown defense, actually, once again, favors Whittaker, very surprising, but of course, submission average is 1.95 for Souza and 0 for Whittaker because he doesn't go for submissions. So anyway, with a fight like this, where it's pretty evenly matched, I think, standing, I think it all comes down to wrestling, and obviously Ronaldo, better grappler, and they call the guy Jacare for a reason. You know what that stands for? Jacare? It's Portuguese for alligator. He gets you down to the mat, he wrestles you to death, and then he submits you. And I think that's what's going to happen to Whittaker. I think it's going to be very exciting for the first round. He's going to wear him down in the second, and I think Souza gets a late second round submission victory. And from there, we'll see what happens. Personally, I think he should be fighting Yoel Romero in a title eliminator for whoever wins the Michael Bisping GSP match. But you know what? We'll see what happens. All right, and open up the Fox main card. We got Jeremy Stephens taking on Renato Macana. You know, I hate these Brazilian names. I can't pronounce Portuguese worth a hoot, so I'm just going to call him Renato because I could probably pronounce that one. All right, what do we know about this one? Reach advantage, not really a factor. Height advantage, not really a factor. Significant strikes lands, it's kind of going more towards Renato. Strike defense, pretty much dead even. Takedown average favors Jeremy. Takedown accuracy favors Renato. Takedown defense, kind of even. Submission average is really negligible. So this is another really sort of a, close fight. I mean, the statistics here line up very closely, so it should be pretty evenly matched. I don't really know who's going to win this one. So I'm going to go with the coward's way out. I'm going to say it's going to be a split decision, and I'll go towards Stephens. All right, and like I said, I mean, you have a really good show here from top to bottom. So I'll just go very quickly through preliminary fights. I think it started at 6 p.m. I think it's actually going to be on Fox as opposed to FS1 or Fox Deportes or whatever they have. So we got Alexander Volkov taking on Roy Nelson. And if Roy Nelson loses this fight, he's got to be done. I mean, he's just been on a real downward trajectory for a while. Huge reach advantage for Volkov, but then again, Nelson never has a reach advantage. Huge height advantage for Volkov. If this were 3 years ago, I would say Nelson was at by first round knockout, but he is so far beyond done at this point. I just don't see him winning this one. I think Volkov grinds him out to a unanimous decision. We got Patrick Williams taking on Tom Duquesne, whatever. No stats for Tom Duquesne whatsoever, so I'm just going to say Patrick Williams wins by default. Actually, I'm not going to say that. I could look at Sherdog real quick, but I don't have time. Tom Duquesne, he's undefeated. They're both 135. Height's about the same. I'm going to go with Patrick Williams because I'm impressed with what he's been done previously in his career. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go with Duquesne because I'm 14-1. Patrick Williams 8-4. Duquesne, whatever, he wins by something. We'll leave it to your imagination. Bobby Green taking on Rashid Magomedov. This is another good-looking match. I mean, it looks very even on paper. But I'm going to go with Rashid because he's 19-2. Bobby King's 23-7. And, I mean, these stats are like dead even. It's crazy. And, yeah, it's like Rashid striking more than like Bobby Green's takedown defense and takedown offense for that matter. I think Rashid wins by third round TKO. And we got Louis Smolka taking on Tim Elliott. Yes, Tim Elliott was a guy who, last time we saw him, he was actually having a title shot against Demetrius Johnson. Now he's ranked 9th in the division, so that shows you just what's going on in the UFC these days. Stats pretty even. Don't really have a whole lot to say about this one. I think Smoke is going to win by unanimous decision. I mean, it's really straightforward. It's very competitive. I think either guy really has a robust repertoire as to land a knockout blow early. I mean, submission, they can always happen, but their defense is pretty good. So yeah, just Smoke wins by decision, playing it safe. All right, and the fight past five start at 4 p.m. Very quick, I'm going to run through these. Aljamain Sterling taking on Augusto Mendes. Well, all you gotta know is that Sterling, his nickname is the Funk Master, and you don't lose if your name is the Funk Master, except for the 2 times he did. So I'm going to go with Sterling to win this one. I think he wins it by second round stoppage. Devin Clark taking on Jake Collier. I'm going to go with Devin Clark by first round TKO. Anthony Smith taking on El Dirte Andrew Sanchez. Honest to God, this is his nickname. I'm going to go with Sanchez by first round Rusty Trombone. First round TKO. I don't know what I was thinking. We got Zach Cummins taking on Nathan Soulforce Coy. That's his nickname. Oof, that's terrible. And Zach Cummins is like a really skinny version of Johnny Hendricks. It's weird. Don't really know a whole lot about these guys, but I do know that Zach Cummins has a huge reach advantage. And I'll give it to him. I think he wins by second round TKO. And for our opening bout, we got Ashley Evans-Smith looking like Skrillex taking on Caitlin Vieira. And I'm going to go with Vieira because she's undefeated and she doesn't look like she's in a dubstep. She wins first round TKO stoppage. So there you go. Just my general observations. Like I said, it should be actually a really good show from start to finish. You don't get a whole lot of those much these days. And I, for one, will be looking forward to it this Saturday. It's free. It's on Fox. You don't really have an excuse to not watch this one. These are my picks. Take them to the bank. Leave them. Do what you want. Just enjoy the show. That's what life's all about.